Vrishabhanussate Devi Pranami Harive Vanchakalpalurascha Kripasindhudevaccha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Radha Golokananda Vilas Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome all of you to the third session of Bhagavad-Gita. So we are on chapter 1 of the Gita, observing the armies in the battlefield. The last two sessions I have been practically speaking the first 3 verses of the first chapter, and today I am going to complete the first chapter. Remaining 40 verses I am going to complete today, hopefully. So let's see what happens. So since I have to do a lot, I am going to speak a little faster. And there may be some parts where I may have to go a little ahead, so don't mind that. Also, I would like to tell you all, for those who are into note taking and all, you obviously won't be able to catch up with the speed at which I am speaking. So what we are going to do is, the first 2 chapters which are complete, I'll make sure that all of you get audio recordings of all the lectures. So I have spoken the Gita in Bombay for over 3 years. So now the first chapter that we are doing in 3 sessions, I usually take about 8 or 9 sessions to complete only the first chapter. And the second chapter goes for about 10-12 sessions. So I am kind of doing a crash course here. So you hear whatever you can hear at this point. And then eventually, for those who want to hear the audios, we will try to provide you the audio recordings of the detailed Gitas that I have done in the past. So we will have to see how we can coordinate that. So I will send a Dropbox link to one of you all. It will be on a WhatsApp group. The Dropbox link will be provided. And from the Dropbox link, you can download the first 2 chapters completely. Okay? So I hope that makes all of you peaceful. I hope you can focus on what I'm going to speak now. Because I'm seeing a lot of people are getting worked up about what I'm going to miss, and don't worry, just focus and hear whatever you can gather. Gita is motion. You're never going to completely understand it. We keep hearing it, it will slowly sink in. So yesterday we stopped at a point where Duryodhana goes to Dronacharya and he complains to Dronacharya. He is expressing his fear to Dronacharya, and then he talks about the strength of both the sides, and he does a lot of diplomatic dealings with his teacher. So as he is pushing his guru, as he is pushing Bhishma, as he is pushing all the senior people in his group, in his army, into doing things that he's not interested in, what happens is Bhishma gets fed up. If somebody keeps speaking all the time and keeps speaking irrelevant things, irritating things, anybody will get fed up, right? So Bhishma gets fed up. And in his frustration, he does something interesting. So Tata Shankascha Bhediyascha Panamana Gomukha Sahaseva Abhyayanta Sashabda Smulo Bhavet. So what Bhishma does is, just to shut up Duryodhana, he blows the conch shell. Once the conch shell is blown, then Duryodhana naturally has to be quiet. So once Bhishma blows, everybody starts blowing the conch shell. It's practically so tumultuous. The Duryodhana's mouth is just shut by the sound of those conch shells. So along with the conch shells, drums start playing. These are not regular drums that we play, in Kirtan. These are battle drums. And these battle drums are really loud. and it kind of increases the whole tempo of the kirtan. It increases the tempo of the, not kirtan, of the mood of the battle. So, why do you think these drums are kept in the battlefield? I mean, it doesn't make sense technically. So, in the Vedic culture, even a battle is rhythmic. Even in a battle, there is music. So, in the Vedic culture, everything is done to perfection. So, the Kshatriya blood has to boil for them to really get ready for a fight. So, these drums and these conch shells just boil the blood. Sounds have different effects. Just like when you're small children and you hear the school bell ringing, instantly there's so much enthusiasm in the kids. Everyone shouts out and everybody runs. That's a sign of freedom. When you see a referee blowing a whistle, it's a sign that the match ends. So, music is very much a part of life. Different types of music have different types of effects on human beings. Here, Bhishma blows the conch shell, and in that context where Bhishma blows the conch shell, Bhishma is referred as Kuru Vriddha. Kuru Vriddha means he is the eldest in the family of Kurus. In the Vedic culture, old age is defined in many ways. So, in modern context, we say we're talking about old age. It's very clearly connected with age only. But in the Vedic culture, the age, Vriddha, old age, is defined in many ways. There is Vayo Vriddha. Vayo Vriddha means old according to age. Then there is Jnana Vriddha. Jnana Vriddha is old age according to knowledge. So somebody may be young, but may be old in knowledge. Young in age, but old in knowledge. Then there is something known as Shila Vriddha. Somebody may be young in age, but old in character. And that's how the Vedic culture talks about different levels of knowledge. Knowledge is just the first level. Then there is wisdom, which is application of the knowledge. Then there is maturity and realization, which is a much higher level of understanding of knowledge. So here we began this first chapter by talking about the duplicity of Dhritarashtra and diplomacy of Duryodhana. Today we're going to get into the second section, which is introduction of Lord Krishna for the first time in the Gita. This is verse number 1.14. So now the interesting thing that happens here is Bhishma has blown his conch shell, and all others, the Pandavas, the Kauravas, everyone is blowing their conch shells. And after the conch shells are blown, at that point, the Supreme Lord Krishna is introduced to some extent. And the introduction of Krishna in the Bhagavad-Gita is very interesting. Usually, when a hero enters into a movie, the entry of the hero is very dramatic. Especially if you see Indian movies, and especially if you see South Indian movies, it's like really intensely dramatic. Now imagine if the hero enters into the movie and there is no drama around it. You won't even know he's the hero. Unfortunately, some of the heroes are so pathetic that unless there is a drama around it, you won't know that who is the hero of the movie. Basically. So Bhagavad-Gita, where Krishna is the hero of the Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, where Krishna is the hero of Bhagavatam. If you see both these most powerful books where Krishna is the hero, and you see the way in which he enters into the Gita for the first time, and you see the way in which Krishna enters into the Bhagavatam for the first time, you know how he is introduced? He is introduced as a driver. Imagine what a way to introduce a hero as a driver. And that's how Krishna prefers to be introduced. In his most important books, the Bhagavad-Gita and the Bhagavatam, his introduction is he's a chariot driver to Arjuna, basically. So, in this introduction where Krishna is being introduced, as I said today morning, if you were there for the lecture, I was talking about how Krishna has given different names in the Gita, different names and different contexts. So, when Krishna's introduction happens, the name that is chosen to be given to Krishna, he is known as Madhava. The word Madhava means Ma means Lakshmi Devi, refers to the goddess of fortune, Mother Lakshmi. And Dhava means husband of the goddess of fortune. So Madhava means somebody who is the husband of the goddess of fortune. I mean, imagine Lakshmi Devi is somebody that everybody is mad about. Everybody is running after Lakshmi. And Krishna is the master, the husband of Lakshmi Devi. Imagine how much wealth he has. What job is he doing? Driver. So that is how Krishna is being introduced in the Gita. He is Madhava, but he is a driver. So Krishna, he appears as a servant of his devotees. So as I told you, the second verse of first chapter till the 13th verse talks about what did my sons do? Dhritarashtra's question. So Sanjay is answering, what did my sons do? That means, what did the Kauravas do? In the second verse to the 13th verse. From the 14th verse onwards till the end of the Bhagavad-Gita, it's about what are the sons of Pandu do. And that's how the 14th verse, this is the first verse, which begins to talk about what are the sons of Pandu do. And what do they do? It begins by introducing Krishna into their life. So, Krishna is introduced as a servant. The concept of service is a very interesting concept in this world. When you travel in a flight, and you will find these air hostesses coming and asking you, how can I serve you? Pleasant smile, well-mannered, well-dressed, and they're like really coming to you and asking you, how can I serve you? You think they care for you? They don't care for you at all. And when they say, how can I serve you? They actually don't mean it at all. There are so many people who have had experiences. I have a friend of mine who he entered into the flight just a little before his scheduled entry time. And there was these two air hostesses having a discussion. The pigs are coming. And that's when they saw this guy is there already. So they panicked, they didn't know what to say, So the point I'm trying to tell you is, whenever we find in this material world, people wanting to serve you and extremely eager to serve you, you should understand they just don't, they hate it. They hate that service. They hate that job. They're doing it because they have to do it. When we talk about service in the spiritual world, the idea of service begins from the idea of love. To love means to serve, and to serve means to please. When you really say that I want to serve you, before service there has to be love. In this material world, when somebody is saying I want to serve you, first question is there love in the heart? Absolutely not. And if there is no love, there is no question of service. And it's not just about serving, it's about pleasing. To serve means to please. If you're serving, but you're not pleasing the person, there's no point in doing the service. Just like if you're standing and serving prasad, and somebody, you're just doing it because you have to do it. You're not really conscious of what is the effect of that serving. I know so many people who just keep serving differently, and they just don't see which item is going. Rasgulla, put it inside dal. And this guy's wondering, come on, what experience am I going to have now? So when you really want to serve someone, you really think about how I can please that person. And that's what Krishna's mindset is. His reciprocation with love and his service is absolutely genuine and pure. So, the Bhagavad-Gita, as I said, it begins by duplicity of Dhritarashtra and diplomacy of Duryodhana. Then is the introduction of Krishna for the first time in the Gita as a servant. And then the next set of verses from 14 to 20 talk about signs of Arjuna's victory. Now Sanjaya is telling Dhritarashtra what did the sons of Pandu do. And before actually talking about what they actually did, Sanjaya is very cleverly talking about how there are so many signs around Arjuna that indicate that he is going to win the war. And there are many signs that Sanjay speaks what happens, which are signs of victory of the Pandavas. The first sign is a conscience being blown. So we spoke about how Bhishma blows his conch shell. We spoke about how the Kauravas, all of them one by one blow their conch shell. Now we talk about how the Pandavas blow their conch shell, beginning with Krishna. So Krishna blows his conch shell, which is known as Panchajanti. And then Bhima blows his conch shell, which is known as Pounder. Arjun blows his conch shell, which is known as Devadatta. So each of these conch shells, Yudhishthir Maharaj blows his conch shell, which is known as Ananta Vijaya. Nakul blows his conch shell, which is known as Shubhosha. And Sahadev blows his conch shell, which is known as Mani Pushpaka. And interestingly, Sanjay tells Dhritarashtra that after the Pandavas blow their conch shells, the hearts of the Kauravas are shattered. Now, when the Kauravas blow their conch shell, Sanjay doesn't say the hearts of the Pandavas are shattered. Nothing happens. But when the Pandavas blow their conch shell, the hearts of the Kauravas are shattered. That's what is mentioned. So, when Krishna blows his conch shell, something very interesting happens. The conch shell of Krishna is white in color. But when Krishna's lips touch the conch shell, the entire conch shell becomes pink in color. It kind of takes the effect of Krishna's, the color of Krishna's lips. And Krishna's blowing the conch shell heralds victory for the Pandavas. So the first sign of victory of the Pandavas is Krishna is personally present. So wherever we find Krishna present, there victory has to accompany. The second sign of the victory of the Pandavas is that the goddess of fortune is present. Krishna is addressed as Madhava, and also Krishna within on his chest carries a sign symbol of Lakshmi Devi. So wherever the goddess of fortune is present, naturally there is going to be victory. The sun cannot be separated from sunshine. Energy cannot be separated from the energetic. Lakshmi, one of her names is known as Chanchala. The word Chanchala means she is very, very flickering. She runs. She is not stable. But wherever and whenever Lakshmi is worshipped along with Narayan, there she becomes very stable. There she loses the quality of being Chanchala and she becomes stiller. I'll tell you a very interesting story. There's a true story that happened many years back in Calcutta. One man, he attended an ISKCON event and he attended a lecture by one of our sannyasi leaders and he was very, very impressed. And after the lecture, he ran to one of our devotees and he said, I want to meet him just for a few minutes. This devotee said, you can't meet him like that. You have to have some qualification. This man said, what qualification? Tell me what I need to do. He said, you have to chant 16 rounds. Good preaching technique. That guy, he said, I will start now. He bought a beads and he said, I will start 16 rounds from today. Obviously, he didn't get to meet that sannyasi at that point, but eventually he got to meet him. But he continued chanting 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mantra very seriously. He got connected. And after a few days, when he was chanting Hare Krishna Mantra, sitting in his home, he heard a voice. And the voice told him, sell all your shares. I'm sure all of you hear voices when you're chanting, right? I don't know if anybody has heard about selling shares or not. And I have no idea how he heard that voice. He went to his father and told him, I want to sell all our shares. The father said, you got mad? You stop chanting, he told him. But somehow this man was like really determined, They went to the bank and told the banker that we want to sell all our shares. The banker said, I have 25 years experience in the bank. And I can tell you from my experience that this is the time not to sell shares, you should buy shares. They said nothing doing, they sold all their shares. In 1 week from that point, Lehman and Brothers collapsed. And this family, because they sold all their shares, they saved 9 crore rupees So like something like, I don't know how you translate, 90 million? 90 million rupees. Imagine. The banker ran to their house and asked them, which mantra you are chanting, which mantra you are. The banker started chanting 16 rounds after that. This is like a totally new formula for him, to find out when to sell shares and when not to sell shares. So for a lot of people, when they connect with Krishna, they feel that if you come to Krishna, you lose everything. Krishna takes away everything. Not necessarily. It depends on who you are. If you are one of the Pandavas, then probably you will lose everything. Because for the Pandavas, it doesn't matter. Their faith in Krishna is not going to decrease when they lose everything. Their faith in Krishna is not going to increase when they gain everything. For them, their faith is stable. For people like us, Krishna is not going to take away anything from us. Because we don't deserve that also. So Krishna is known as Lakshmipati. So when Krishna is present in your life, the goddess of fortune is also going to be present. In fact, Lakshmi and Krishna conspire together to make a devotee's life beautiful. So here we find that the fact that Krishna is present, the goddess of fortune is also present. When we learn to use resources in the service of God, victory comes into your life. The third sign of victory of Arjun was the chariot given by Agni, the fire god. So when they were about to begin the construction, so at some point where the Khandava the Kauravas had given the Pandavas a tract of land which was barren, absolutely useless, and Krishna along with Arjun was walking around with that tract of land. At that point, Agni came to Arjun asking him for help to burn the Khandava forest because he was having indigestion. There was a king who did a massive yajna and he put a lot of ghee into the fire. After consuming so much of ghee, Agni had indigestion. Anybody can have indigestion basically if you eat too much prasad. And Agni wanted help of Arjun. And when Arjun helped him, Agni gave him this chariot. And this chariot being present on the side of Arjun indicated that there is going to be victory. And the horses were given by Chitraratha. So now the demigods, the Gandharvas, all of them, they are offering help to Arjun. And by the support of all these the gods, victory was assured. So anybody who takes shelter of the Supreme Lord, all the devatas assist that person in perfection. So the consuls of Arjun and the Pandavas were known as Divya Shankar. Divya Shankar means transcendental consuls. And therefore, they created tremor in the hearts of the Kauravas. One time, Krishna went to Yamaloka to help. He had gone to hell for a specific mission of finding the sons of his teacher. When he had gone to Yamaloka, he went to Yamaloka and blew his conch shell. And as soon as Krishna blew the conch shell in Yamaloka, all the oil that was boiling on these different furnaces, all the furnaces went off. People, for the first time in hell, experienced some relief from pain. The spikes in all the trees, all the spikes fell off. So just by Krishna blowing the conch shell, all the residents of hell actually got liberated. So when a police blows a whistle, now when you hear a police blowing whistle, normal people are not scared. But a criminal immediately starts getting scared. That's the sign that he has done something wrong. When Krishna blew his conch shell, the Pandavas' heart didn't shatter. But the Kauravas' heart shattered because they knew they were doing something wrong. And therefore, the conch shell indicates the blowing of the conch shell from the heart, shattering of the hearts indicates fear felt when one does something wrong. Yudhishthir's conch shell is known as Ananta Vijaya. Ananta Vijaya means unlimited victory. So the very name of Yudhishthir's conch shell indicates that there is going to be victory on the side of the Pandavas. And finally, one of the most important signs of victory of the Pandavas is on Arjun's flag there was the emblem of Hanumanji. Hanuman was present on the side of the winning party in the Ramayana. And now Hanuman's symbol being present on the side of the Pandavas indicated that there is going to be victory here. Interestingly, if you look at this thing from Hanumanji's point of view, it's something very fascinating. Hanuman was a great devotee of Lord Ram, hero of the Ramayana. Now, if you study the Sundarkand of the Ramayana, you will see how Hanuman was inspired to become a hero by Jambavan. Jambavan inspired Hanuman reminded Hanuman of his powers, and then from then on, Hanuman became the hero. So Jambavan, when he reminds Hanuman of his powers, he tells him something very interesting. He tells him that in my younger days, I could have crossed over the ocean easily. In fact, in my younger days, I went around the universe 21 times. I had so much power. But now I'm old. I can't do it. But you can do it. And he inspires Hanuman to become the hero. Usually, if you look at Jambavan's position from today's world point of view, imagine Jambavan is a project manager of today and Hanuman is one of his juniors. If Jambavan had to think, I can't do it, Hanuman can do it. But if Hanuman does it, I won't get the credit. So what usually people of today do, forget the project. If I can't do it, no one should be able to do it. Right? That's how people today think. But Jambavan is not like that. Jambavan is what I call as the invisible leader. Jambavan believes in inspiring people to achieve their potential. Inspire Hanuman to become the hero. So from the world's point of view, Hanuman is the hero. But from Hanuman's point of view, Jambavan is his hero. Because he's the one who inspired him to become the hero. So at every point of time, there will be a point where you are a visible hero, visible leader. And there will be a point of time where you have to step back and allow somebody else to be the visible leader. And you become what is known as an invisible leader. So at this point in the Ramayana, Jambavan stepped back. So Jambavan was the hero at one point. Then he stepped back and made Hanuman the hero. Now Hanuman was the hero in the Ramayana till some point. Now when Mahabharata comes, where is Hanuman? He's sitting on the flag. He is not showing that he is a big hero. He's sitting on the flag quietly. Why does Krishna make him sit on the flag? To help us understand, even if you are Hanuman, in the Mahabharata you are not needed. Even if you are Hanuman in the Ramayana, in Mahabharata you are not needed. Without you, Pandavas can win. Imagine Hanuman's frustration if somebody makes a mistake. He must be like so irritated. I mean, he knows how to win a war. And if somebody makes a mistake, but the humility of Hanuman is to sit quietly up there. And what was Hanuman's role in the Mahabharata? Hanuman's role in the Mahabharata was exactly Jambavan's role in the Ramayana. Hanuman inspired Bhima to become the hero of the Mahabharata. Hanuman inspired Bhima with his words, with his voice. He told Bhima, when you are shouting and making a war cries, I will shout along with you. So Hanuman didn't come and fight on behalf of Bhima. He didn't tell Bhima, you go sleep, I'll fight over here. Krishna didn't do that. Didn't expect Hanuman to do that. So Hanuman became an invisible hero in Mahabharata and made Bhima the visible hero. So all of us also should learn this from Hanuman. In today's time and context, where people want to be the visible hero all day long. In today's time and context, where people don't want to inspire others to become heroes. In today's time and context, where people are so insecure about allowing others to progress. This is a very important lesson. And therefore, Hanumanji, being present on the flag of Arjun, indicates that the Pandavas are going to be victorious. And then, wherever Hanuman is present, Lord Ram is definitely present. In the heart of Hanuman, Sita, Ram, Lakshmana, eternally present. And therefore, now Sita, Ram, and Lakshmana are present on the side of the Pandavas, and therefore victory is assured. And finally, the last understanding of the last sign of victory of the Pandavas is Krishna is known as Rishikesh. One of the names of Krishna is Rishikesh. The meaning of the word Rishikesh means the master of one's senses. So apparently Krishna sitting on the chariot of Arjuna is doing nothing. But he is Rishikesh. He is guiding the senses of all the Pandavas He's guiding the senses of all of them. He's guiding our intelligence, he's guiding the mind, he's guiding the senses. Though Krishna is doing nothing, he's still doing everything. During the battle of Kurukshetra, when Arjuna was fighting, Krishna was sitting on the chariot and driving the horses. Krishna was doing a very interesting thing. You know what he was doing? Throughout the battle, he was smiling. Imagine, if you are really angry at somebody and you are going to beat up that person with great anger and that person smiles. You will smile, Obviously, you can't hold that anger for too long. And imagine the smile of Krishna. The smile of Krishna is so fascinatingly beautiful that when these soldiers would come to attack Arjuna with weapons and see Krishna smile, they would momentarily lose their, balance. And then Arjuna would shoot the arrow and kill them. So they would die looking at Krishna's smile. So apparently Krishna is doing nothing, but he's smiling. That's everything. The future of the whole battle of Kurukshetra was based on the smile of Krishna, literally. And therefore, Krishna is known as Rishikesha. And the fact that Krishna is Rishikesha means that victory is on the side of the Pandavas. So these are the 9 signs of victory on the side of the Pandavas. Krishna is personally present. The goddess of fortune is present. The chariot given by Agnidev. The horses given by Chitraratha. The conch shells are transcendental. Yudhishthira's conch shell means Ananta Vijaya, heralding victory. Kapi Dwaja Hanumanji being present. Sita Ram being present. And finally, Rishikesha means the master, the one who guides the senses. The first chapter of the Bhagavad-Gita culminates at a very interesting note. It goes to a very interesting crescendo. So we just saw the signs of Arjuna's victory. But the first chapter really boils down to one very important thing. The last section, which is the confusion of Arjuna, verse number 27 to 46. So at this point, the conscience are blown, everyone is ready to fight, and the fight is just about to take place. Arjuna makes a small request to Krishna. Says Krishna, "My dear Lord, please take me between the two armies. I want to see who is on both the sides." And while he is requesting this to Krishna, Arjuna calls Krishna by another name. As I said, these names have very important connotations in the Gita. So here, Arjuna is calling Krishna as Achyuta. Achyuta means the one who never fails, or the one who never falls. Chuta means to fall. All of us fall. Not just physically. Physically we do fall sometimes. But we fall to temptations, we fall to wrongdoings, we fall to the misgivings of the heart. Sometimes we fall in our integrity and character also. And therefore, when Arjuna is calling Krishna as Achyuta, he is telling Krishna, "My dear Lord, please take me in between the two armies. And I have great confidence that you will not allow me to fall to any of the temptations, wrongdoing, misgivings, and all that, because you are Achyuta." Now, Krishna again hears the request of Arjuna, and he steers the chariot to the middle of the army. We have to remember at this point that Arjuna is in the greatest phase of his life. He is at the peak of his career. He is at the peak of his strength. He is in the best form ever, put it in the cricket language. He is in the best situation at this point in his life. Now, when Krishna hears Arjuna's request, Krishna takes Arjuna right in the middle of the army and he places Arjuna in a strategic position. So here, the verse that says, Bhishma Drona Pramukataha. So this is the sequence of the first chapter till now. The first text talks about the question of the Dhritarashtra. The 2nd to 13th text talks about the diplomacy of Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra. The 14th text, Krishna has blown the conch shell, he is being introduced. The 15th to the 19th text, all the conch shells are being blown by different people. The Kauravas are getting scared. Then the 20th and 21st text, Arjuna tells Krishna, take him to the middle of the battlefield. And then Krishna moves. Krishna moves and takes Arjuna's chariot to the middle of the battlefield. If it was any other driver, if Krishna was not Arjuna's driver, and Arjuna gives this instruction to his driver, take me to the middle of the battlefield, where would a driver normally take? He would take to the right in the center. But Krishna is not a normal driver. Krishna is Rishikesh. Krishna is Achyuta. Krishna is Madhava. Krishna is a very intelligent person. Unfortunately, a lot of people prefer God to be omnipotent. Omnipotent means all powerful. But they don't like God who is omniscient. Omniscient means all knowing. They prefer God who is all powerful but not all knowing. Why they don't want God to be all knowing? Because they have ideas. So it's my idea and God's power. That's the combination that people in this world prefer. So they want God to use all his powers, but they don't want God to use his knowledge. They want God to use their knowledge. They want God to do things the way they want it. But unfortunately, Krishna is not just omnipotent, he is also omniscient. That's where the problem is. And because Krishna is all knowledgeable, what does Krishna do? He takes the chariot of Arjuna and places the chariot right in front of Bhishma and Drona. Bhishma, Drona, Pramukataha. Why does Krishna place his chariot right in front of Bhishma and Drona? Because Bhishma and Drona represent two of Arjuna's greatest attachments. Before you fight an external war, Krishna wants Arjuna to fight his internal war. Krishna wants Arjuna to sort himself out internally. If you remember the first session, we spoke about this. How wars are not fought on an external level only. They are first fought on an internal level. A lot of people don't win the inside war and therefore they don't win the outside war. Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna places Arjuna in front of Bhishma and Drona. He says, deal with this first. Bhishma represents family attachments. Bhishma was Arjuna's grandfather. So, if only you can fight your greatest attachments, you can understand the Gita. If you don't confront your attachments, they don't trouble you. If you don't confront your attachments, they don't trouble you. The day you confront your attachment, that's when they start troubling you. If you talk with people who have addictions, like for example addictions to drugs or smoking or drinking, and you tell the addict, give up smoking, and they are fully convinced they can do it in one day. What a moment. The day I decide to give up, I can give it up. You tell them to actually do it. That's when they'll see and how big it is a problem. You tell people, give up tea, coffee. They'll say, anytime. Do it. Next day you get up with a headache, You can't function normally at all. Just nothing you can do normal. Why? It's an addiction. So there are a lot of attachments that we have. There are a lot of confrontations, there are a lot of challenges that we have which prevent us from taking our spiritual life seriously. And therefore, attachments of the heart cannot be downloaded like files. Attachments of the heart cannot be downloaded like files. I'm not going to computer language. You can download files, from an email. But you can't download attachments like that. Attachments are tough to download. Spiritual life is about attachment. The Gita talks about our internal fights with our attachments. So Krishna is not asking us to give up our family. But in the name of family, don't give up Krishna. That's what he's saying. Krishna is not telling us to give up our family, but in the name of family, don't give up your spiritual life. There are a lot of people who cannot face the Bhishma of their lives. Each one of us have some attachment to our family, which what does family really represent? Family represents certain traditions. A lot of people have some strong traditions that their families are connected with, and the families have strong mindsets about. Like for example, so many people I know who don't like to put a picture of Krishna on the chariot with Arjun on their walls. Why? They say that if you put that picture, we'll have fight at home. I asked them, if without the picture, do you not have fights at home? Ideally, if the picture is there, fight is there at home. Then the picture is not there, fight should not be there at home. But every home there is fight without the picture also. What difference it makes if the picture is there or not there, right? So a lot of us have these intense family traditions which become obstacles in us taking up spiritual life seriously. And it's not about crushing faith in those traditions. It's about upgrading with Krishna consciousness and with sensitivity. Krishna is not telling Arjun, not at all have faith in Bhishma. But what he's telling is, in the name of Bhishma, don't forget your spiritual principles. So a lot of people, they use their family traditions as an excuse. Why not to take up spiritual life seriously? And therefore, Krishna is telling Arjun, deal with this first. And then, Drona represents attachment to teachers. Now, Drona represents attachment to teachers who misrepresent. Now, teachers are good, definitely. And teachers teach us a lot. But the question is, do all teachers teach us the right things? So sometimes, when we are attached to a teacher, we are also talking about attachment to belief systems. Drona represents attachments to teachers and to belief systems. Attachments to gurus, attachments to certain type of spiritual paths, attachments to certain types of belief systems. So Drona represents all those attachments. So Krishna is telling Arjun, deal with this. Our attitudes are formed by our beliefs. Our understanding of life is formed by our attitudes. And unless and until we deal with our belief system, which is the deepest of our, in the core of our being, we won't be able to deal with the attitudes and we won't be able to deal with the understandings of life. Therefore, Krishna is bringing Arjun in front of Bhishma and Drona. He's telling Arjun, before you fight the external war, fight this war. Fight the war against your attachments, fight the war against your belief systems. Unless and until you have the right attachments and you have the right belief systems, you cannot progress in your spiritual life. Bhagavad-Gita begins with this. This is not even the beginning of the Bhagavad-Gita. This is not even the Krishna has not even spoken one word here. And it's very interesting. Without speaking one word, Krishna has given such a deep message. Just by placing the chariot in front of Bhishma and Drona, that's it. 90% of the people in this world cannot progress beyond this. Their spiritual life gets over there. The moment you place them in front of Bhishma and Drona of their lives, their traditions and their belief systems gone. They can't progress anymore. Because we are attached to our belief systems and we are attached to our family traditions. Spiritual life, Bhagavad-Gita goes beyond that. Bhagavad-Gita pushes you beyond that. Bhagavad-Gita is a book that expands the horizon of your thinking, that expands the horizon of your mind. Most books don't deal with deep subject matters. Why? Because when you poke people, they get hurt. Bhagavad-Gita starts by poking in the place where it hurts the most. Because upgradation cannot happen unless you are ready to face the truth. Unless you are ready to accept the truth. Krishna is very intelligent. So a lot of people talk about all the words that Krishna speaks in the Gita. There are words that Krishna doesn't speak in the Gita which is more powerful. Look at this. By driving the chariot, putting in front of Bhishma and Drona, he has spoken whole Gita actually. And the whole Gita is actually an explanation of why he did that. That's all. And therefore, when we're talking about the Bhagavad-Gita, we're talking about psychology. This is the psychology of God. Most other books talks about human psychology, but the Gita talks about the psychology of God. You will not find another book that talks so deeply about the psychology of God as the Gita. So we find that when Arjun sees these two powerful personalities standing right in front of him, Arjun gets into a high degree of confusion. He is bewildered. He is super confused. He doesn't know what to do. And in that confusion, he tries to make reasons. He tries to reason why he cannot fight the war. And there are 5 reasons that Arjuna comes up with why he cannot fight the war. And those are the 5 reasons that are very interesting because this brings out the psychology of Arjuna. So the first reason Arjuna gives is compassion. So Arjuna, his determination went down due to attachments. Attachment to his guru, attachment to his grandfather. Should he fight or should he not fight? Is fighting right or is fighting wrong? Our attachment and weaknesses come in between our spiritual lives many times. And a lot of people justify their weaknesses. Rather than dealing with our weaknesses, rather than facing our weaknesses, what we end up doing is justifying our weakness. Like for example, if somebody tells us you should not be eating this, we have so many justifications why we should eat it. If somebody tells us you should not be drinking this, we have so many justifications why we should be drinking this only. And if somebody tells us you should not be doing this, we have so many scientific, logical, systematic justification why we should be doing that only. That's where the problem is. Arjuna here is systematically giving justification why he should not fight it. And if you see it from a logical point of view, all these reasons that Arjuna gives are great reasons. They're very deep reasons. And they're very so-called human reasons. So if anybody else hears these reasons of Arjuna, they would say, wow, what a great person he is. But Krishna is not anybody else. When Krishna hears these 5 reasons of Arjuna, he tells Arjuna, you're a fool. Therefore, Bhagavad-Gita is deeper than how deep you can think. It's deeper than how deep Arjuna can think. Arjuna was one of the most intelligent people of his era. The Gita helps you go deeper than what a human being can think. So Arjuna is telling, he's giving big tags to his weakness. First big tag, compassion. How can I kill people? How can I, harm my grandfather and my guru? So he is using compassion as a reason why he cannot fight. So from one point he is right, but from another point he is wrong. Let us see what is Krishna's point of view of how Arjuna is wrong about the way he is. So when Arjuna is talking about compassion, Kripaya Pariya Vishto. So the word compassion is a very interesting word. The modern understanding of compassion. The modern world doesn't understand compassion so much. What the modern world understands is compassion. Compassion. You say compassion, we're all compassion, come into my life. So the Gita teaches us how to overcome passion and cultivate kripa. Means empathy. So Arjuna was thinking, why should I fight for my pleasure when millions of people are going to suffer? Of course, the Lord doesn't tell people like us to kill. He tells elevated people like Arjuna to kill. Because people like Arjuna, they hesitate to kill even for the right cause. And therefore they are qualified to do that. people like us, we will kill for the wrong cause also. Because we are not qualified people. Our hearts are not pure. Our hearts are not filled with genuine compassion. And therefore, when people like Yudhishthira Maharaj, people like Arjun, people like the Pandavas, they're actually asked to do something as ghastly as fight a war, they know what suffering means. They know what empathy means. They know what compassion means. The scriptures are called by the word Veda. Veda means knowledge. In Sanskrit, there is another word, a very interesting word, which is very similar to the word Veda. The other word is called as Vedana. Vedana means suffering. So, if you don't have knowledge of the Vedas, even if you have knowledge of the Vedas, but if you don't understand Vedana, it's useless. That means there are a lot of people who are very knowledgeable people, but they don't understand the concept of suffering. They don't understand the concept of compassion. They don't understand the concept of empathy. So for such people, that knowledge is not actually useful. So Arjun is actually talking about compassion at this point. But the problem with Arjun's understanding of compassion is on an external basis. So Arjun, he's telling, I can't fight because I don't want to kill so many people. I don't want to cause so much suffering. Why should, for my enjoyment, millions of people suffer? And as Arjun speaks like this, his condition becomes intensely stressful. He shows all the symptoms of stress. And these are the symptoms that Arjuna shows, which many of us may also experience in our lives when we are highly stressed. In this world, a lot of people go through stress. And a lot of people go to psychiatrists. In fact, there is a study in America that says every third person goes to a psychiatrist. Which means every psychiatrist goes to another psychiatrist. Very stressful world, So Arjun was having trembling of limbs, hair standing on end, mouth was drying, skin was burning, the mind was reeling. I mean, I'm sure all of us, when we are in great fear, great anxiety, great stress, we have experienced these symptoms. And when the mind is so stressed, the mind actually takes over matter completely, takes over the body completely. In fact, a lot of people, a lot of psychiatrists and psychologists and doctors say most of the skin problems that people have are due to stress symptoms. What we call today as IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, stomach disorders, stress. So a lot of diseases that modern man has today is simply because of stress symptoms. So Arjun was actually experiencing intense stress symptoms at that point in his life. Now you might think that how is Arjun so stressed out? Is he not a devotee? Is he not an exalted man? One time there was a TV show, and this was a TV show about medical problems. So there was a man who would interview different doctors. So one day he was interviewing a cardiac specialist, heart surgeon. They had questions about heart problems and this and that. Next day he was interviewing a cancer specialist. Detailed analysis of cancer and chemo and all that. Next day he was interviewing a specialist of kidney failures. Detailed discussions. So somebody really got worried and called up this guy and he said, how many diseases you have? So many doctors are consulting, How are you surviving with so many diseases? And this guy had to explain, listen, I don't have any of these diseases. I'm only interviewing these doctors for your benefit. So this guy was a TV show host basically. So Arjun is exactly that. So you might find that Arjun is going through stress and is going through so many questions that Arjun is going to ask in the Gita. Please don't underestimate Arjun. Please don't think that Arjun doesn't know. He's going to I know more than you. You are not the body of the spirit, so don't underestimate Arjuna. So when Arjuna is being used as a medium, he is just an instrument. Krishna is using so that the Bhagavad-Gita is revealed to all of us. So we don't have to underestimate him. We shouldn't think that Arjuna is such a fool, he doesn't know physics of Gita also. Arjuna is confused for our benefit. So, it is confusion, as I said. Arjuna speaks about compassion. And he speaks about how I don't want to fight because it's too painful. The second reason Arjuna gives is he says, enjoyment does not come from things. He makes a very interesting point. He says, you are asking me to fight. He's telling Krishna, my dear Lord, you are asking me to fight. But if I fight, what will I get? I'll get a palace, I'll get power, I'll get luxuries, I'll get wealth. I'll get all these things. And whom will I enjoy all these things with? If everybody else is dead. How can you enjoy all the property, all that wealth alone? So he says, imagine the whole world is ours, but we are alone. What's the point? Enjoyment comes from sharing, from relationships. If we have a few things, but we have meaningful relationships, that's better than having a lot of things and being alone. God, one of the names of Krishna, he is known as Aptakam. Aptakam means he doesn't need anything. He is completely self-satisfied. But we are not God. Arjuna is telling, I am not Aptakam. I need people. I need things. But I need relationships to enjoy the things that I have. And therefore, Krishna, so Arjuna is trying to tell Krishna that enjoyment doesn't come from stuff and things of this world. And therefore, I cannot enjoy. So what is Arjuna actually trying to tell? And during this discussion, Arjuna calls Krishna as Govinda. What is the meaning of the word Govinda? The word Govinda, one meaning of the word Govinda is the one who loves cows. Govinda refers to the cows. Govinda also means the one who gives pleasure to the earth. Govinda also means the one who gives pleasure to the senses. So Go means cow, Go means earth, and Go means the senses. So Arjuna is calling Krishna as Govinda. Why does Arjuna call Krishna as Govinda at this point? The reason Arjuna calls Krishna as Govinda is telling him, my dear Krishna, you are Govinda. You are supposed to give pleasure to my senses. That means you are supposed to do things that I love, that I like. But unfortunately, what Arjuna is not able to understand is, Govinda doesn't mean that the one who gives pleasure to our senses. We are supposed to give pleasure to his senses. So Arjuna has completely reversed the understanding and meaning of the word Govinda at this point. And therefore, Arjuna is telling, I can't fight because, enjoyment comes when you have people around you. And then Arjuna gives another reason, the third reason why he cannot fight. He says, he was fearful of the sin that comes by killing people. If you kill people, we will suffer. This is what is called in electronic language as ego principle. Garbage in, garbage out. Good in, good out. So he's saying that, so even in such confusion, Arjuna doesn't want to sin. For us, even in clarity, we want to sin. Arjuna is so dharmic that even in the highest of confusion, he doesn't want to commit any sin. He doesn't want to commit anything wrong. The Mahabharata talks about 6 types of aggressors. In fact, Mahabharata says, Agnido Garadaschaiva, Shastra Panir Ganapah, Kshetra Dara Maharicha, Shat Eta Hi Atataina. The word Atataina means aggressor. In today's language, terrorist. So, the scriptures define who are aggressors. The 6 types of aggressors. Shad Eta Adataina. So he says, First type of aggression is Agnida, setting another's house on fire. Second type of aggression is Darda, which means giving poison to another. The third type of aggression is Shastrapani, which means attacking with deadly weapons. The fourth type of aggression is known as Dhanapaha, that means steal somebody else's wealth. And fifth kind of aggression is known as Kshetra Apahari, steal somebody else's property. And the sixth kind of aggression is known as Dara Apahari, that means stealing somebody else's wife. The Kauravas had done all the six types of aggression to the Pandavas. Not one, all six. After all six are done, Arjuna is saying, I don't want to kill them, I'll get sin. The scriptures say, if you come across these six kind of aggressors, you can kill them to defend yourself, to protect yourself. There is no sin. But in spite of the scripture giving an injunction like that, Arjuna is saying, I don't want to kill them, I will commit sin. The fourth reason why Arjuna says I cannot fight is because he says the Kula will be destroyed. So from Arjuna's point of view, when a war happens, in a massive war-like situation, millions of men are killed. And when these millions of men are killed, the women and the children at homes, they do not have any protection. And because there will be a huge number of women and children that do not have protection, they will be so much in trouble. And therefore, Arjuna here is talking about a psychological understanding of how 5 types of people in this world need protection. He talks about children who need protection. He talks about women who need protection. The Mahabharata actually gives a very interesting understanding of this. Mahabharata says that when a weak person cries, the tears of a weak person become a puddle in which a strong person drowns and dies. It's a very interesting thought. The Mahabharata says if a strong person makes a weak person cry, the tears of the weak person become a puddle in which a strong person drowns and dies. And therefore, when we make weak people cry, when we make weak people go through pain in their lives, then we are responsible for that pain. So Arjuna is saying, if war happens, then children are going to be without protection, women are going to be without protection, old people are going to be without protection. What are old age homes about? Today, old age home is simply a society's lack of gratitude. It's a collective lack of gratitude which results in what we know as today as old age homes. If people are grateful to elderly people, parents who have done so much for them, there is no question that they will put them in old age homes. But today, we find old age homes are so rampant simply because of ingratitude. Cows are like a mother. They need to be protected. So much discussions about why we need to protect cows. So much discussions about why we need to be ungrateful. Simply that. And finally, the Brahmanas need to be protected. Because Brahmanas are weak financially. And nowadays, Brahmanas is made fun of. Because society doesn't understand the Brahmanas are the intellectuals of society in terms of direction. And when there is nobody who can give direction, then what happens to a society like that? It goes haywire. So when Arjuna is saying that there is going to be destruction of family tradition, Arjuna is talking about all this. And then finally, after saying all this, Arjuna, the last reason why he feels that he cannot fight is because of what is known as indecision. Indecision is a very important reason why a person doesn't take decision. Because it's about a lot of confusion in the mind. Arjuna actually thinks at this point of time of becoming a beggar officially. A king decides to become a beggar because he's confused. That's what confusion can lead you to. Change your profession. So Arjuna drops his bow and arrow, sits on the ground and starts crying. human mind is like a parachute. It functions only when open. A parachute doesn't function when it is closed. It functions best when it is open. That's how human mind is. Now, Arjun is completely in a state of confusion. And now, Bhagavad-Gita is ready to be poured into his ears. When you are too smart, you are not ready for the Gita. When you think you know everything, you are not ready for the Gita. Only when you come to a conclusion that I don't know anything, then you are potentially ready for the Gita. So at this point of time, the verse that is mentioned over here is Shoka Sambhigna Manasa. This is Arjun's situation at this point. Shoka means lamentation. So his mind, Manasa, is filled with Shoka, lamentation, and Sambhigna, confusion. So Arjun's confusion is a result of these 5 things. He is thinking about being compassionate. He is thinking about not wanting to enjoy alone. He is fearing sin. He is fearing destruction of family relations. And most importantly, he is fearing his own indecision, inability to decide what is the right course. This chapter of the Bhagavad-Gita ends with these 4 elements that we spoke about: the Dhritarashtra, Dhritarashtra, and the diplomacy of Duryodhana, the introduction of Krishna for the first time in the Gita, the signs of Arjuna's victory, and finally the conclusion of Arjuna. This leads us to the second chapter of the Gita, which we're going to explore from now. For those who have heard the Gita for last 20, 30 years, maybe 40 years, some of y'all, I can assure you the second chapter of the Gita, what you're going to hear in the next 3 days, will completely change the way you look at Gita. We will be discussing some very interesting concepts in the second chapter that will leave very deep impact in your hearts. And the second chapter, mind you, is actually the whole Gita. Lord Krishna spoke whatever he wants to speak in the second chapter itself, and he had finished speaking what he wants to speak. Technically, the third chapter onwards is not needed at all. But it's so power-packed, the second chapter, but it also tends to be confusing for people like us who need a little more clarity, who can't handle things spoken concisely. Eloquence is all about speaking essential truths concisely. Krishna spoke the whole Gita eloquently in the second chapter. But because people like us won't understand that so easily, Arjuna asks a question in the first chapter, the beginning of the third chapter. And therefore Krishna speaks further. Otherwise, technically, Gita is over in the second chapter itself. So potentially, by hearing the second chapter of the Gita from tomorrow onwards, we potentially can hear the entire and understand the entire message of the Gita in these 3 sessions that are to come. So I highly urge and request all of you to make time for being here for the next 3 sessions, which is starting tomorrow, the second chapter of the Gita. And you'll find a lot of insight and depth into the understanding of life as well as the Gita. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.